Hello, everybody. Agartha Marathon? No, just rolls. I'm not going to, I'm not going to be streaming the story. At least, not this late, no. Sniffles. All night. Give blessing for Arakaga, please. You've been blessed. What tips would you give someone who wants to start a YouTube channel about a mobile game? I'm assuming you want to make. I'm assuming you want to make videos on that new Madoka game. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Just look at the FGO scene, for example. You got a lot of different kinds of YouTubers doing lots of different things. Obviously, some of the things that we do overlap with one another, but that's just gonna happen when you have a big enough community, or at least I should say a big enough content creating community, if that makes any sense. Find what you're good at in whatever game you play. That would be my advice. Anybody can be, you know, just your general YouTuber, like, you know who I'm talking about. News, like general basic stuff, tips and tricks, and all that shit. But how I would suggest you go about doing things to kind of differentiate yourself is to become a specialist at the game. Start learning about it in and out. So you know whatever questions someone might have about the game, you can answer, you know, better than most others. That would be my advice. But keep in mind that being a mobile game specialist, or just a specialist in any game rather, comes with a price. And that's that you're probably not going to be known for many other things, and that your core audience is not going to be you know, scrubs and casuals, even though that's probably what, you know, your content is geared towards. But people who actually care enough about the game that you're talking about to go to the internet and start looking shit up about it. Most people don't do that. The community, especially for FGO, the community, you know, most communities, the majority of people, they're completely fine with just sitting around and just playing the game, whatever. Especially when it comes to mobile games like this, where literally you can just treat it as a waifu sim, and you know no one's gonna fault you for it. Unlike maybe some other games, you know, unlike other actual games where you know, maybe there's a little bit more skill involved, and maybe they're like, you know, ranked playlists, and you know, there's something on the line. When you play a mobile game, there's nothing on the line. Well, maybe except your Sankorts, but that's not competitive. At least not in the sense of you competing against somebody else, unless you decide to do one of those roll competitions that some YouTubers do, where they roll against each other to see you know, who gets the rate up SSR faster, or whatever the hell they do. I don't count those though, because that's not really a competition, that's just luck. So that would be my advice. If you got a game in mind, and you're really serious, okay, so here's the caveat though, you have to be really serious about it. If you go into it and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna try it out, then don't bother trying to specialize in that game, because if you're not going in there with the right kind of attitude, you're not gonna do anyone any favors. Yeah, waiting for Agartha. One more hour left, assuming no extended. Yeah, like I thought, you'd be doing the Madoka game. Um, you're in a bit of a better position than most others, Miyu, because I know for a fact that the Madoka game hasn't been around for very long. Not even on JP. Like, it's been around for like maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. I don't know. Um, Maybe it has been 2 years. We'll see. But hey, that's still a year faster than like FGO or maybe even Azure Lane and shit like that, right? So in terms of because here's the biggest here's I'm gonna let you in. It's not really a secret, but this is how I think about the NAFGO YouTube scene, right? So here's how the NAFGO YouTubers and content creators are hit the hardest because we're 2 years behind JP, right? All the uh, all the exciting and new content that people actually care about looking up, NAFGO will never have that just because of the virtue that we're 2 years behind. No one's gonna come to NAFGO for massive YouTube and to like maybe quote unquote make a video go viral unless your name is Voice of Saint Quartz, um, because there's nothing exciting going on in NAFGO because it's all this content is all old content. Nobody from JP, nobody from China, nobody from Taiwan, especially not China because they have Bilibili, is gonna come over to NA for shit that they already know and shit that they already got. The only exception to this would be FGO Korea, only because of the fact that we're on the exact same pace, and something tells me that uh, some of the Korean FGO community just looks over at what NA does, like, let's just see what they're doing over here. But with the Madoka game, depending on how long it's been released for, um, you could be in a good position. You could be in a good spot, Miyu. If it's less than 2 years, you're at least it's for sure you're in a better position than we are, at least as far as us NAFGOers are concerned. If it's only if JP Madoka has been only is only 1 year old, then that's prime. That's prime because in that case, in my opinion, the chances of you being caught up to JP, like say, so NA Madoka is gonna come out on the 25th. If JP, I could be wrong about this, but if JP is only 1 year old, then kind of like how Azure Lane's doing it, kind of like how Girls Frontline is doing it, there is a chance that NA Madoka will be caught up to JP because it's only a year. Like I'm sure they can work something out where they can put out a schedule where at some point, like maybe let's say a year from now, NA Madoka will be caught up, will be on the same track as JP Madoka. If that is the case, then investing into a YouTube channel when you're serious about going out and making videos is you got to do it now, um, because like anything worthwhile, it takes time to invest in it. It takes time to build. Um, I didn't end up with the community that I have, all you guys, just off of I just decided to make FGO videos one day. Oh yeah, sick. Now I have fucking all you guys watching my videos and streams and whatnot. Like sick, yeah, let's fucking do this. It's not really like that, obviously. So yeah, it's a lot of future vision and like educated guessing and at least a basic understanding of how mobile games work, both from like a player perspective and a developer perspective. I guess there's also that there's also that part where it's also being published by Aniplex, so maybe some of their shit is predictable. And when I say predictable, I don't mean in a good way. Thanks, Razor, for the host. Hope your stream went well today. Well, that's the main reason I'm not gonna get into the game, Rectify. I would love to try it, because again, like you, I am a fan of the Madoka series. Uh, not when I'm already fully invested into boats, Raifus, and Fate all at once. Like that's not gonna happen. So yeah, I'll have to be content with like maybe watching YouTube videos of it here and there. That, and I've heard from my friend, the guy who got me into FGO initially, who did try JP Madoka back when it came out. He did tell me that Madoka PvP, because Madoka, the Madoka mobile game, is supposed to have PvP. Apparently, if my friend is to be trusted, it's a little bit pay to win. But I mean, I guess you could argue that about any mobile game that has PvP. So maybe it's not the biggest of deals, but I guess that's something to consider. I don't know. How's the FPS on PC so far? It's great. It's great. Let's see if OBS can tell me anything. I should be streaming at full 60. Let's see. Yeah, I am streaming at full 60. I can tell on my OBS window. Especially when you're playing Azure where it literally has a 60 FPS option for you to toggle on. So yeah, after playing boats for the past what 5-6 months, however long it's been, like 9 to 10 months, on 30 FPS, having a 60 FPS option is quite noticeable. Everything literally runs twice as fast, which is great. Alright, thanks, Jose. We'll see how our rolls go tonight. Just playing a few, just grinding some boats in the meantime, though. PvP on boats doesn't really make an impact. Yeah, that's the I guess the good part about the PvP in this game. The only thing that it helps you out in are two things: rankings and merit. But as long as the rankings is obviously, you know, it's secondary, right? It's not necessary. You can only do the rankings if you actually care about that. But if you do care about that, you're probably a whale in the first place. So there you go. And the second thing that PvP works you towards is the merit, and you use the merit mainly for more gold boolins, which you could make the argument that if you're a whale, or if you at the baseline is if you've been playing the game longer, then more than likely you'll have better PvP fleets. So you have a severe advantage over other people who haven't played as long or don't whale. But then again, PvP tries to match you with other commanders around the same ELO rating, if this game even has ELO. Probably does, because that's what rankings use, right? So you don't if you're a newer player, you don't really need to worry about running into somebody who has a PvP fleet of like 14k power in both frontline and backline. So it's literally just a matter of whether or not you reach your merit gold boolins faster or slower, which you'll get them eventually is the important part. Have you tried getting into Grand Blue? No. I've only heard of it. Appreciate the Girls Frontline video. Give me a pretty good head start. 10 joins me out of the difference. Yeah. And Girls Frontline, if you're the type of guy who doesn't mind dropping cash on gems, then in Girls Frontline especially, your first priority as a whale is to get those 10 dorm rooms. It gets you it'll attract a lot of good friends onto your account, which means that you can take their support echelons that are usually pretty stacked. And actually, that's the main thing. That's the main thing, really. Just for the extra friends. And then usually, if you have other whale friends, usually they have all 10 dorm rooms unlocked too. So you also get to cash in on their batteries. So it's kind of like a mutual thing. You give them 10 batteries, they give you 10 batteries. I'm also thinking of making like a kind of like a whales guide to FGO too. I wanted to make it before Anime Expo. It doesn't seem like I'll have the chance to do that. Maybe I'll have to make it after I come back from X. We'll see. PvP has a huge luck factor. Yeah, I've seen X-Slice restart a few PvPs because his fleet skills don't proc. I don't really do that. I don't care enough about PvPs to fucking reset PvP battles. Like if I lose, I'll take the L. Like I don't care. Hey, good evening, Passion Lip. I hope you've been doing well lately. Haven't been streaming for a while and been busy with videos, so I haven't been able to lurk around the FGO directory in a hot minute. Are you gonna stream Girls Frontline stuff? Whenever there's a new major event out, I guess. Like I don't really stream anything other than like major events, cause like besides major events, we have like what the bingo cards. We have boss farming for like event currency shit. But they're not like actual event stuff. I don't know. One of these days, I guess. How's the ship grind going? I'm just trying to do the 60 runs on SP3. Let's try going up. That's all. Time does FGO come back up? In an hour. If this event wasn't going on, I'd probably be I'd still be grinding 11-2 for Neptune XP, and what was the other one again? Trying to farm Aganoa at 11-2. What ships did you level up early? Still in chapter 5. Bell. Cruiser I'm using right now. Bell. Helena. Cleveland. Who else? Warspit's a bit of a long-term investment, but level her anyway. Hood. Who else is really good? Monty, if you've been lucky with Lycon. Is Atago permanent now? I don't remember. I know Takao is. Level Takao if you have her. She's pretty good. And Atago too, if you can pull her from permanent gacha nowadays. Don't know if they have actually included that. Don't know if they actually put her in there, but we'll see, I guess. Chat will tell me. Wasn't there a Kizuna for this game? Yeah. The Kizuna girls are all pretty good, actually. Maybe except with the exception of the Destroyer, of Destroyer Eye. She has a kind of a troll skill, where she can buff the enemy instead of your team, or your own fleet, which is kind of a random Pepega. But everybody else, all the other Kizuna Eyes, they're all pretty good. Apparently, the battleship Eye is pretty meta. Apparently, it's either the battleship or the heavy cruiser. Title of the game, please. Azure Lane. Oh yeah, Portland. Make sure you retrofit her too. Indy is not necessary, but you can put them together, I guess. Ranger Retro, yeah, she's good. Great for great if you need a budget a strong but budget carrier. Cause Ranger can deploy double bombers, so her damage output is very high. Plus she has a literally an RNG skill where I think she can. She's got one of those skills where she can either increase the damage on her airstrike on a random chance, or send out another immediate airstrike when she launches a first one. It's one of those skills where if it procs when she throws out one airstrike or one airwave, she sends out another one immediately. So you're literally getting double damage, if I understand her skill correctly. Yeah, Sandy retrofit. It's gonna come at some point. Keeping 3. Actually, even without a retro, you're gonna eventually get a Sandy because she's a fucking meme. An adorable meme. Let me clarify, but you'll probably get her eventually. Do invest in Sandy because she's extremely strong AA, and I think starting from World 12 and above, you're gonna need to have a way to counteract enemy planes because they'll rip you a new one, from what I hear. So Sandy is not bad. Once we know her retro's confirmed for NA, though, that's when you really gotta think about getting Sandy up there. But for now, you can take it easy, I guess. She has both, even better. So yeah, her Ranger's damage output for what used to be a 1-star is incredibly high. But kind of like her initials, her damage output is RNG. Even still though, even if neither of her skills proc, if you give her double Helldivers, which are the best bombers in the game, then she'll still kill everything. Within reason, of course. Within reason. Your guild had 10 Sandy notices straight. Yeah, sounds about right. Whenever there is a LightCon raid up, because the guild that I'm a part of has a lot of whales in it. So yeah, we had one dude who got like 7 or 8 Sandys in a row all by himself, and it was literally, if you looked at the guild board, the notification board, it was literally him, that guy, and it has constructed Sandy, constructed Sandy, constructed Sandy. It was literally just that, he repeated like 7 or 8 times the entire message board down, and he was straight pissed on our Discord. Understandably. Been off boats for 6 months. What are you missing? World 12, Kizna I event, King George V, and Bismarck, PRs. What else? New UI, 60 FPS. Am I missing anything? I'm sure I am here somewhere. Hard mode revision. When did they do that? I don't know when exactly. Hard mode revision. Cog chips, so level 120. Yeah, you missed out on a lot. It's got me more interested. Most interested. Honestly, the 4 stars interested me more than Skurshati does, if I'm even pronouncing your name correctly. 10th is highest priority, followed by Wu and then Skurshati. Oh, and then submarines too. Forgot about the subs. No, I'm just rolling a Gartha, Passion Loop. Just a Gartha. It'll just be rolls. No, I'm not gonna stream story. It's, it's already late enough when the servers go back up. Have you seen Arjuna Alter's kit? Yes. I look at that and I look at Archer Arjuna, I'm just like... Bruh. Who did I need to fucking enhance again? Does St. Louis have full enhancement? Not yet, I guess. Else, let's get in there. What submarines are good? I-19. Well, that's the American way of saying it. Iku's pretty good. The problem is that we don't have the top tier subs yet. Like we don't have edgy German sub, who's supposed to be top tier. We don't have Albacore. I think she's like tier 3, I think. We don't have Surku. She's a French sub, which means I'm butchering her name. We don't have Surkuf. We don't have. I think Iku's like the only one who's like truly top tier, and even then she's not really that high, or she's not really up that high. Like we still need to get like the absolute top tier subs. So that means that most of the subs that we have are like kind of meh. With again the only exception being Iku, but I don't really know because I don't have a lot of them. I only have like 3 or 4. I think Dace, is that how you say her name? Dace, or is it Dachi? Dachi, Dace. I think Dace is high up. Is pretty up there as far as tiers go. What MP levels are you shooting for? Literally just 1. Just 1. Like, I'll probably stop when I get all of them at least MP1. Because they're all permanent, so. And usually 4 stars, have been good on showing, like permanent 4 stars have been good on showing up whenever I roll for other people. So since that trend has been staying true for the past year and a half, or almost 2 years now, might as well continue relying on that. Just just off the merit of how much I roll. Like if you don't roll all that much, then yeah, maybe going for like MP5 4 stars if you really like them is a good thing, is a good idea. But for me personally, or for anybody else who whales a whole ton. So you said it's at first Dace. Is storage space still super limited? Yeah, if you don't buy gems, if you don't expand it using gems, then yeah, it's still super limited. Like on that's the thing about uh that's the thing about boats and Girls Frontline. Your biggest problem is not really the gacha, it's actually your storage. It's actually your storage. Like that one Girls Frontline video that I put out at the beginning of the month. One of the comments was like was a tip saying that, oh, you should really save your gems to buy like expand your your storage, your gun storage. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Like, isn't the base storage for, I know the base storage for Girls Frontline, if you don't buy anything, is like 100. I don't know how it is for boats. Is it also 100 too? I don't remember. But it's not a lot. And that's actually a problem, because in games like this where 5 stars are rather generous and they're pretty frequent to come by, you end up starting to get a whole ton of new characters. In Azurlane's case, a whole ton of new boats, and you just don't have the space to keep them. Especially not when you need to keep extra copies of boats in order to limit break them, in order to retrofit them and all that shit. And probably my biggest problem with boats and how this game handles storage is once your storage is full, they force you to do something about it until you have enough space to go back in and fucking farm again, I guess. Because in Girls Frontline, you can go over capacity. Like, they'll let you go over capacity. Like, even if you're like one gun off from max cap, like let's say for example you have 99 guns in your storage out of 100. Like, the game will still let you go into the next battle, and it won't stop you from finishing that fight. And maybe you'll go over capacity, and maybe let's say you get like 4 guns as drops, and then you come back out and you're at 103 out of 100. So you can at least play the game, though you have to deal with it afterwards, of course. But at least you can still play the game. But that's not how Boats does it. Like, Boats is like, yeah, you're gonna have to clear this before we let you play more, which I think is stupid. But each game does it how they like, I guess. Wish Girls Frontline had an autofill enhancement. I I understand that, but it'll get to the point where you have a ton of enhancement pills, and if you wanted to rapidly enhance a gun, you can just shove pills down their throat. So, Girls Frontline, it's not as necessary, because once you have enough pills, you can just fucking, dump those down people's throats. and just enhance them en masse. It's not as big of an issue. It's a lot better for boats because there's no way to instantly level boats. Unlike in Girls Frontline where you have combat reports and enhancement pills. You don't have anything like that in boats. Yeah, exactly, JB. Like for how similar these two games are in terms of uh, how the mechanics work. Well, their general game mechanics, not like specific, not like the gameplay mechanics, but uh, how the games handle. For how similar they are, I'm actually I guess I shouldn't be surprised by this, but I always I find myself wondering just how surprising it is, or just how surprising I find those two games to be different, or how different they are. Like all those tiny little nuances. Yeah, to touch fairies. Yeah, I don't really pay attention to fairies. I just kind of have them, and I just have them equipped to my echelon, so they can just like, you know, ride along for the XP, I guess. And maybe one day they'll come in handy. How long did it take you to get the PR ships? So Monarch is the first one that I got. She's the only one that I rushed for and got day one. So back when PRs were first announced and implemented, uh, I rushed Monarch as fast as I could, and yeah, I got her day one. Yeah, I had to stay up until like fucking 8 in the morning to get her, but I got her, and then I went instantly went to bed after that because I was fucking tired out of my mind. But so yeah, it took me 5 days because I think when you start developing a new PR ship, uh, you need minimum 5 days for you to be able to acquire them. And then the other ones I just kind of took my time. I didn't rush them. So I got Rune next. Yeah, I got Rune next. Got Rune next. She took me like 3 weeks, something like that. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks because I'd I used Spee, Deutschland. I'm just gonna call it Germany. I used Germany, Spee and Hipper for that, and then uh, once the KGV event showed, the Bismarck event showed up, I went hard on that, both for the event points and the shop and the PR grind. I remember grinding the Bismarck event so hard that I think I was number 7 at one point on the Avora server for most amount of event points, which I was really surprised by because I thought for sure there would be a lot more people grinding harder than me, but I guess not. I guess there are more people in other servers who go really hard, but not really the case, or at least not as much as I thought there would be. But once I was finished with PR with Rune, I kind of eased my foot off the pedal, and I started going into the story chapters because I was really lagging behind on those. So clear chapter 9, clear chapter 10, and now I'm chapter 11, where I'm just sitting for Neptune grind. Actually, I cleared. I went into St. Louis right after that, and then I think I literally grinded all my XP on World 10. It's either World 10 and or World 11. A little bit of World 11, something like that, and then a little bit of the Bismarck event. I think majority of my St. Louis XP came from Chapter 10 though. Pretty sure. Think so anyway. Could have been Chapter 11 too. But But yeah, I think I'm like not two-thirds, a third of the way through. Maybe I'm even up to a halfway through St. Louis. Not St. Louis, sorry, I already have her. Halfway through for Neptune. Or Yeptune, as Schleiss likes to call it. It's been a while since your last roll stream. Yeah. It's been definitely been a while. Been a hot minute, as I like to say sometimes. Most efficient way? I mean, take what works, man. Take what works and take what's comfortable with you. This is just a mobile game. Don't need to get all you know, super serious about it. This coming from a guy who's trying to make a perfect FGO account. But no, really, when it comes to PR grind, um, just because of how long it takes, it'll take you for a single PR ship. Uh, I would personally advise people to go for comfort over efficiency, because sometimes you can't do the efficient method. Just because of how this game works with its you know, oh, do you have this boat? Do you not have this boat? Do you have them leveled? Do you have their skills leveled? Like honestly, the biggest limiting factor, other than the blueprints, of course, for for PR grinding is whether or not you have the right boats to do the job. Like, you know, I'm lucky that I had, you know, Hipper, Germany, and Spee to do my rune grinding, because otherwise I would have been stuck having to level up the common German cruisers, whatever their names are, because I can't pronounce them, like Leipzig, Köln, or whatever the hell her name is, and the other ones. Like, I don't even have them properly leveled, let alone enhanced. So if I didn't have the elite German cruisers, the limited ones, um, like there'd be no way in hell that I'd start out doing rune, or going for rune second. Like fuck that. And St. Louis was pretty easy, all things considered, because what, you just need to get um, American Cruiser XP, and guess what? Helena and Cleveland are two of the best cruisers in the fucking game. Like, Helena is literally top tier, and Cleveland's like maybe one or two tiers down, but she's still really good. Oh, and let's not forget Phoenix, who is the fucking farming cruiser champ, or one of them at least anyway. So. Yeah, the join lay had to run common German cruisers. Yeah, I have a friend on Discord who ran into the exact same problem. He joined right around the rerun of Visitors Died in Red of the Zuikaku event, and because of that, obviously he had a lot of catching up to do, and that also meant that he didn't have any of the elite German cruisers, like the limited ones, Germany, Hipper, and I keep forgetting her name, Spee. So he didn't have a choice but to run common German cruisers, and he said the experience was fucking miserable. What are sorties and Azure Lane? Sorties? They're just battles. Sortying is just a fancy term for going out to fight. Phoenix, Helena, Cleve, bro. Yeah, exactly. That was my farming team for St. Louis. They just basically carried the entire way. Just give them some good gear and you're good to go. How are you not sleepy? Well, it's not even midnight my time, and I typically stay up rather late, so you know it's not my first rodeo. Now, once it starts getting to like 4, 5, 6 a.m., then I start kind of dozing off. But now's not, it's like 4 hours from now. Not adding them in would be a poor financial decision when they're already rolling in cash as it is. I don't think they'll put in Solomon, though it wouldn't surprise me if they eventually did, just because of DW's whole thing of oh yeah, lore, what's that, and then what's that when we can make more money. But I don't think they'll put Solomon in. Muramasa, sure, why not? I mean, they did the same with Irashigal, and she made it into the game, and they'll probably do the same with Muramasa too. But probably not Solomon. And no matter what you say about DW and their quote-unquote poor financial decisions, guess what? There's a thing called summer, and uh, yeah, that's a money printer. My point is that they don't need to rely on Muramasa or Solomon to print them money, because all they need to do is fucking draw up another big titty, big ass waifu with some fetishes thrown in there just to get people hooked. And there you go. There's your cash cow for the month. I'll you plan on streaming? Not that much. I'm just gonna stream rolls and I'm gonna call it. Summer servant buffs never. Yeah, pretty much. They are only money makers. DW don't give a shit about them. Oh yeah, let's just throw in the game, let them print money, and then just fucking throw them in the trash right after. It also comes down to how players farm too. You have problems with the common rare iron-blooded fleet. I'm sure if you had them like fully leveled beforehand and fully retrofitted and with like very good gear, um, I'm sure they can handle themselves just fine. Like I know I was exaggerating my whole situation of oh the limited elite German cruisers fucking saved me and shit like that, but even still, trying to grind for PR experience without properly leveled boats, like PR grinding or not, it's gonna be a miserable experience. Like I grinded with my rare German cruisers because they were already at like level 90 and fully enhanced. So literally all I needed to do was get together some good gear for them, and there you go. There's my rune farming fleet. If I'd had the same for my common German cruisers, basically the other way around, then yeah, I would have gone with my my common German cruisers instead. because, you know, obviously, I'll take a level 90 common over a level fucking 10 elite German cruiser any day of the week. So, and this isn't like Girls Frontline or FGO where, you know, you can just instantly enhance characters. It's like that's not a thing. It's not a thing in this game. You gotta have the time, or you gotta put in the time and resources to make your boats good. Do you prefer YouTube streaming over Twitch? No, I prefer Twitch. What game is this? Azure Lane. I think that's blocking it. Let's get rid of it. All you want to have is a full SSR support. That's... If you're not already a whale or a dolphin, that's gonna be a tall order. Like, maybe set your bar a little bit lower. Like something a little bit more realistic. Like, again, if you're a dolphin or a whale, then yeah, maybe that's perfectly fine. But if you're not, then having a full SSR lineup on your support is kind of you may want to aim for something a little bit lower first. Yeah, aim for all gold first. Yeah, that's more realistic. Aim for all gold first. 4 or 5 star. Hey boy, what's going on? That's FGO in a nutshell. You want something, but it's surrounded by trash. That's the exact same way how I feel about all the gacha games that I play. Oh, do you want this character? Oh, let me just throw you all these other shit characters first that you didn't want. When is Vlad Zerker getting a rate up? It's a very surprising question you're asking right now, considering how much people don't want him. Does he ever get a rate up? I'm sure he gets one during APOC, right? During the APOC collaboration event. Like, honestly, I don't think Berserker Vlad gets a lot of rate ups. Like, now that I think about it, he's kind of rare. As far as rate ups are concerned. For sure he's gonna get one during the APOC collaboration, like I said. But outside of that, maybe like class summoning, I guess. But those are class summonings, though. At this point, you've broken down and just getting excited for 3-star Cs. That's how you do it, man. Just be careful with that though, because while in the short term, that kind of mental trick protects you from the disappointment of not getting what you want. In the long run, if you keep having that mentality, you're going to dull your sense of excitement. And being excited over something that isn't exciting is fake hype. So I would not recommend having that mentality for an extended period of time. Not APOC collab, just Chiron and Achilles. What do you mean by that? I'm gonna leave the dorm empty for now. think we're gonna do one more SP3 run, and it should be time for the servers to come back up. Are you rolling this banner? I guess so. Hopefully it won't be too long of a stream. Am I gonna MP5 Skirshati? Eventually. Not tonight, though. How do you stream from your iPad? Get Air server, connect it, install on your PC, or download on your PC. Connect via Wi-Fi from your tablet to your PC, and use OBS to track the screen. And there you go, easy. Farming materials is not fun in the slightest. Insert Goblin Slayer, you get used to it meme here. An APOC. Oh, that's what you mean, JB. You know what I mean. The banner before that. The fucking APOC collab rate up rotations. Where it had all the other fucking APOC servants that were already in the game. And not Chiron and Achilles. You know what I mean. Yeah, she will be. If you are a permanent 4-star servant or a story lock 4-star servant, and you have been released by the before a free 4-star ticket comes out, then you are eligible for the free 4-star ticket. That's how it works. Have you actually seen Goblin Slayer? No. I keep telling myself I should watch it, I never do. Traumatize you? Is an anime about a guy who does nothing but run around asking goblins? Really that traumatizing? I don't know. I feel like I'm saying that just because I'm just a jaded old man. How many hours until maintenance is done? In 15 minutes, not even an hour. On a scale of 1 to 10, how RNG is Nido farming? It shouldn't be. If you're doing it right, you shouldn't have to depend on RNG. If you are, then it depends on what kind of mobs you're fighting. If you're fighting low-level trash mobs like skeletons, then insta-killing them is, I guess, kind of reliable. Like, honestly, it goes. She procs insta-kill like maybe like 60-70% of the time on trash mobs. And it also depends on your on Nitocris's first skill too. How high level it is. Like if it's at level 9 or 10, then insta-killing actually becomes pretty consistent. But as soon as you start trying to farm like mid-tier mobs like centaurs and fucking what else, werewolves and shit like that, then yeah, and like robots and that kind of stuff, it becomes a lot less reliable. And when you're trying to fight like high tier mob, like top tier mobs, like the big ones like Spriggans, fucking sphinxes, all that shit. Chimeras, like, it doesn't really work. Like, sometimes you'll get them. Like, I'd say only, like, 10, 15% of the time. And if you try fighting, like, actual servants, then don't even think about it. Ideally, you should already be using Nidacris in positions where you know that her MP is enough to kill anyway. So. Hey, Scarface, what's going on, man? I'm back after you watched the first episode. Don't say that, man. You're gonna get me excited. Yeah, Nita MP3, but you still haven't leveled her. You probably should. I believe she's a very important farmer for Neurofest. Could be wrong though. Anyone you're aiming for? All three of them, ideally. But if it takes me too many quartz, then we'll see. You hitting up any premieres? If you're talking about like the shows, like the ticketed shows, then not really. I've never really been interested in them. Like I've gone to a few. Like I remember going to a like a symphony concert at one point, like a video game symphony concert with a friend a few years back. That was pretty fun actually. I like that. But I don't really go to like ticketed events very much. So this year too. They have the Aquars, the Love, is it Love Live? The Love Live concert, something like that, right? It's either Idolmaster or Love Live, that kind of idol shit. There's a concert going on for that, but I'm not really too interested in that, and neither was I interested in very many other fucking panels or ticketed events. So I just gave my code away to a friend. I was like, hey, just fucking use this. I'm not gonna use it. But now, if you're talking about the like the in-con premieres, like where there's actual panels and shit, then I'll have to see what's on schedule. I'll probably since Aniplex is definitely gonna use Anime Expo for their to advertise their Madoka game. They're gonna do the exact same shit with Madoka as they did with FGO. Mark my fucking words. I'm sure that they're gonna have a panel on Madoka. In fact, I believe I was told that Homoda's voice actor, who's Saito Chiwa Saito, who also voice acts Tamamo, is gonna be there. So definitely looking forward to that for very obvious reasons. I want to say she's gonna be there mainly for Madoka, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind showing up for some like FGO stuff either, because if she's there, might as well also show up for FGO stuff too, right? Congrats on Monarch, by the way. Thanks, Scarface. I'm still working on blueprints for her, because I think she's still only dev level 23 or 24, so it's gonna be a while before she hits dev level 30. But for easy maps like this, I don't mind busting out Monarch. Shit. I guess we're gonna have to bust our way through this one. When's next guarantee 4-star? Sometime in the fall. It's the second half of this year. You've still got a few months, so maybe. It's gonna be cancer. Try to get this if you're not a VIP, or at the very least not a Premier fan. Yeah. It's Anime Expo. Shit like that is gonna sell the fuck out, especially when you're talking about like an idol concert, like Love Live, Idol Master, and all you know, all those other things that I'm sure you know better than me. Yeah, we had. I remember going to X like and regularly seeing uh, idol fans, you know, in full fucking concert gear. Like you know how people who go to idol concerts, you know, you may have seen photos of them like wearing the jackets, having the light wands, and what the fucking headbands and shit like that. I've seen entire groups of them standing around in the front plaza, in front of the con center, and literally practicing their fucking cheering routines in the middle of the plaza. And well, because it's a Weave concert, no one cares. It's also actually pretty fun to watch them. Watch them rehearse. Actually, not gonna lie. Hey, no, Mary, welcome back. You know, the way they sync up with the glow sticks is mad nuts. Well, yeah, when you have the passion, anything is possible. All you need is passion to get, you know, thousands of sweaty fat nerds get to cram themselves into a fucking building and wear fucking cultish outfits and throw light wands at people, throw glow sticks at people. It's really all you need, honestly. Let's get this final boss fight done, and we'll switch over to some FGO. When they give the 10 sand quartz you get per singularity completed, I have no idea. I don't really pay attention to those. Like maybe once Lost Belt starts up, which is which is New Year's for us. So we'll see. Weebs judging weebs, yes, the ultimate irony. Welfare 5-star. That's a weird way to say Mashu. Yeah, Mashu sounds like a 5-star Mashu sounds like a weird way of saying that won't happen. You'd be doing a Yo-Star and Idea Factory stamp collection? No, Scarface. The reason I'm not doing that is because their stamps require you to actually buy shit. The reason why I did the stamp rally for Aniplex last year was because it was all for free. Like you didn't have to like IRL degen. Well, I would say what I did for the stamp rally for Aniplex last year was IRL degenning, but it was at the very least it was for free. When I looked at their stamp rally in a little bit more detail, apparently you can only get those stamps when you purchase shit. So if that's the case, I'm good. Any memorabilia from your con trips? They're kind of like scattered all over my room. It would take a while for me to pull them out and show you. Like most of the memorabilia that I'd have. Let me switch to full screen here a little bit. Most of the memorabilia I'd have are like wall scrolls, literally, like wall scrolls that I bought at con and shit like that. So let's stop mirroring this. Okay. Let's, check the commissions here real quick. Do that. Alright. Missions. Yes. Okay. Ah, shit. I fucking do my hard mode stages. Fuck. Alright. Let me see if I can get my Azure Lane up on my phone quick. Fuck, I forgot to do my hard mode stages. Gonna miss out on some core data. How much core data does World 8 give you nowadays? I don't think it's too much. It's not gonna kill me. Plus, I have like 1600 core data already that I'm not using. So I'm gonna have to do 8.4 here real quick. Have you heard about the data mined Lost Belt 5? Not really, actually. This is news to me. I will investigate further. Yeah, and your ankle might be sore from last. It was it actually wasn't my ankle. It was my. I pinched my nerve. I think what it was and what ended up happening on my left foot. Yeah, it was my left foot. So I basically had to walk around with a limp the last day, and for like maybe a few days afterwards. Actually, once I got back, it was feeling better already, so it wasn't that bad. But at the time, like by the end of the third day, it was fucking killing me. It's Atlantis. Cool. I'm sure at one point during the JP stream for the LB4 preview, they had a map of the world up, and wherever there was like a white circle, like that was where a singularity was going to occur, or like a lost belt was going to occur. Uh, and given the first like two or three that we had before LB4, obviously, we kind of already need those. So if next one's on a Greek one, then that's cool. I can do two hard mode runs at the very least. So that's not too bad. Better than none. Yeah, of course. Of course they would fail that. Actually, let me back out of this. Fuck that shit. Just use my other fleet. That's why you have two fleets. Ah, yeah. Or did you find all the leaks? I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, China probably. Yeah. But take their leaks with a grain of salt because I remember last year people talking about leaks that came from Chinese sources that claimed that last JP summer event would have Castor Ereshkigal, which did not happen. So make sure that you don't get too debated, you know. Oh, we actually managed to hit the social media goal. How fun. Anyways, let me switch scenes over. There we go. Yeah, look at that. 10 cent quartz. Cause when I looked up the social media stuff earlier today, it didn't, at least from the Twitter side of things, it didn't seem like we were doing so well. So I decided to retweet and share, uh, throw in my retweet and my share too. So see if that helped at all. I guess good news is we got everything. So yay, I guess. It's hardcore pushing like the last hour. I'm sure Facebook had a lot of shit too, cause I know Twitter was at around 20k, 20k shares and retweets. Uh, I didn't see how many Facebook had. Apparently, Facebook had around like I don't know, like another 10k or some shit like that. I'm probably making a number up, but glad to see that people rallied together at the very last minute. That's good to know, I guess. At least some people still care about, you know, some people still care. Alright. Anyways. I wonder if I should throw my tickets at this. Do I want to use my tickets? Or should I save them for something better? Give me one moment. I'm trying to figure out what the hell was going on with my... Oh, Southampton. Collect that. Can you please attack? Yes, thank you. Ah, shit, I think I forgot to redeem my, my fucking hard mode mission, too. Fuck. That's why you always do your hard modes, kids. So much for doing a hard mode mission when I didn't even fucking remember to or completely forgot to redeem the fucking mission itself. Let's just go with multis. Fuck it. I'll save my tickets. Still no Akagi Day 3. You'll get there eventually, don't worry about it. Good luck. Hey, Schleich. Thanks to the host. Just doing some rolls for the Agartha servants. Won't be too long here. But thanks to our host, man. Saw you were grinding some boats earlier. Hope you had a great stream. And I will see you, hopefully anyway, in a week and a half. And like I mentioned earlier, we will go out and eat shitty pad thai together. Or are we gonna upgrade from last year? Alright, there we go. Just 5 more. Nothing too dramatic, I don't think. Wow, this multi-roll's been going on for fucking ever. Jesus. What's the goal today? Just get at least one copy of every servant. This might be Wu right here. It is. Okay, well, got Wu in your first multi. Hey! First, Wu first multi buddies. And she was the last one, too. Alright, we've got the Disgaea servant. More Maltese, I guess. We got the Disgaea servant. Now we will continue hunting for the others, I suppose. Gonna go play a Gartha now. Have fun! Camera's over here. Doge! Concerned Doge. How's this guy? Like Matt Skill says, she's a good quick support. She also has apparently very high base MP damage. I'll have to fact check that, but take that for what you will. Hello, Schleich. Thank you. We got Tuo in first multi. That has never happened. At least not in recent memory, anyway. When's the last time I got like a rate up servant on like the very first multi? I don't even remember. It's been so long. It's been 3,000 years. How does that meme go again? Going for one copy of each? Yeah, pretty much. The last time you remember you would battle with the servant was Jack. Yeah, Jack is probably the only servant who I couldn't get with her debut banner, to be honest. More Maltese. Woohoo! Always fussing on my wires. Third multi-penth. Yay. Just looking for one more now. Is that Shinji seeing you? No, it's not. Three back to back. If you're 4 stars, yes. You even have the Sifino even has the fucking Shinji emote too. Jesus. The fucking memes. Short stream today, yeah. Just rolls. We'll see how long it takes for me to grab caster. Streamer luck. Yes. Rare footage of Tuhu Sniper 98 actually lucky. You're not the right berserker. Hey, short and sweet and to the point. I like it. Okay, now here comes the hard part. What if we all streamed? We'd all be lucky. And then you realize that Schleich dumped how much sand quartz did he dump for Squirtle? And then I dumped 3,800 sand quartz for Tamalancer. And then you start uh, double guessing yourself on whether or not this whole streaming thing is actually a good thing or not. She can talk. Oh no, she can talk. Like as long as you don't talk about Achilles, as long as you treat Achilles like he's the Fight Club, uh, pretty sure you can just talk to Pent normally. It's when you start talking about it that she starts going off. Has there been anything good this roll? I don't think so, right? Because I haven't been paying attention at all. Why did I just get Innocent Maiden twice in a row? Technically, not a min roll. Something tells me I shouldn't be rolling multis. Maybe I should have started with tickets instead. I like how there's no engagement guy in the description even though the event's over. Or maybe you can just ask if you can just let me know, hey dude, Onigashimen's over, maybe you should take off the links cause obviously the event's over. I don't know why it had to be so complicated for you to not say that and go with some passive aggressive shit like that, right? But thank you for the reminder. They're gone. The only one who can be passive aggressive as fuck is me. Because I'm the streamer. Streamer privileges. Whee! Same court so far. I think we're up to 150. Either 120 or 150. Either or, depending. Let's see right now. 150. Yeah, like I thought. 150. This was 180 right here. Fortunately, we haven't gotten any other 4 stars. Which, you know, if I'm gonna be rolling, you know, around or more 300 courts, I would at least like to get a few more 4-star copies of the Raid Up Servants. Like grabbing another MP level for Penth and Wu would be very nice. They're a good way to optimize whaling. Technically there is, but it's more of an indirect one. What you do is you look up how many raid ups a servant has if you really want to go for them, and then plan your rolling around that. So let's say you want an MP5 Musashi, right? You look up what her raid ups are, and then if you're not like a huge whale who can just dump, you know, thousands of quartz to get her MP5 instantly, and you gotta go step by step and staircase that bitch, then what you do, hey, another K-scope that I don't need. What you do is you, like I said, look at her, how many rapes she's got, and then get her, you know, say, oh, I'm going to get this many copies of her during this raid up. And then you keep that, and you go into the next raid up with another goal, like, hey, I'm going to get this many copies of her this next raid up. And then I'll get her last 1 or 2 copies that I need to get her to MP5 for this last raid up and shit like that. It's really the only way, though. Like, if you're trying to look for a way to optimize whaling when you're actually rolling, that's not going to happen because that just depends on your personal luck and whether or not the game fucking hates you or loves you on that day. Let me put it this way: you can mitigate the damage. You're not going to prevent damage from happening. I think that's a good way to put it. The game can love you. I think Moriarty is my cheapest 5-star now. To who I've gotten to MP5. I think he's cost me less than 1,000 Saint Quartz. Maybe. I would have to remember how many Saint Quartz I dumped on Shinjuku Part 1. I don't know if anybody remembers that stream and how many Saint Quartz I spent on it. More useless Shinjis. Wonderful. I wonder if I eat more chocolate, Scourgeati will show up. Better yet, this is Milano's dark chocolate. It's gotta work, right? Let it be known that I really like dark chocolate, though. Dark chocolate is awesome. Make sure I don't spill like crumbs. Milanos are the best. Milanos are insanely good. They're like some of the best cookies I've ever eaten, to be fair. They're expensive as hell, but hey, if you can just go down to Costco and buy this fucking... How many packs is this? Is this 30 packs? You can literally just get this entire plastic bucket of Milano dark chocolates with 60 cookies total, I think. And for like $8. It's insane. How many multis so far? I think we're up to 240, so 8 multis. Is it chocolate thick? Oh yes, it's absolutely thick. Should you go hard for Pent or just wait for his spooks? Wait for his spooks. Like, if you plan on going hard on other banners, then you don't really have to stress it too much. But MP, you're going for just one. One for everybody. There's the other Pent that I was wanting. Actually, when you eat Chalice Hershey's bar. Don't Hershey's have dark chocolate? Hershey sells dark chocolate bars too, right? Oh, I heard a jingle. Hey, dark chocolate work, boys. Go out and go out later today or tomorrow, technically wherever you are, and go grab yourself a pack of Milano's dark chocolates and see if that works out as a catalyst. Anyways, well, mission is accomplished. I got what I wanted, so I'm gonna head off. Got more work tomorrow, and I need to get back to working on the videos that I'm working on. Hopefully, I can get the. Actually, I can just fucking tell you guys. I'm currently working on the how to use all the 5 stars and how to use all the 4 stars in the game. Currently, I have the audio for both of them done. Now, just the editing part. I still need to record gameplay or footage for like the second half of the SSRs, so still working on that. But the video itself is about a third done. As far as editing is concerned, I still need to get footage for the 4 stars, but I expect I expect everything should be done over the weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna upload it right away. I'll have to see. But yeah, I'm working on those right now. And then next week, Schleich might be happy to hear this. But next week, once I'm done with those videos, I'm going to be working on a boats video, National video. So there's that. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you guys later once I figure out who we are raiding. Probably should have looked this up beforehand. Anyways, I'm gonna host Draxus because I think he's hosted. I think he's hosted me a lot. So go check him out. I'm sure for those guys who are Spanish speakers in my stream, you already know who he is. But he is a Spanish speaking content streamer for FGO. Now, I actually don't know what his exact nationality is. Maybe I should ask him at some point. But yeah, go hang out in his stream. Yeah, there you go. I think I clicked the raid button way too fast. I guess guess the raid's on its way. Anyways, YouTube chat, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I know tonight was kind of a short stream, but thanks for watching. You got videos on the way to enjoy later on. But yeah, have a good night, evening, morning, wherever you guys are. And you got in the stream.